Welcome back.
Oh, we slowed it down.
Yeah, slowed it down a little bit. Thank you guys so much for listening. It's good to see you guys.
When can I talk?
When can you talk?
Yeah.
Almost. I'm gonna introduce you, bro.
Wait, we got to get through the nicknames.
We gotta get through it's a whole
the
process.
explanation of the nicknames.
Because I gotta. So I am Jeremiah Turner, one of your hosts. I'm also known as Big Joker. I get that from Spades. I got that name from playing Spades. We also have College Dropout, also known as Wes Ross. This is his Kanye season.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Just irrational.
I feel like I'm just ruining
irrational
everything.
thinking.
Oh no, it's no issue.
It's mostly just irrational thinking and producing some of the greatest art of all time.
Yeah.
It's true.
Yes. Yeah. But we are also here with Baton Rouge Comic by way of New Orleans. I'm a fan of him. He also works in film and TV. Give it up for Alex Cureau.
Yeah.
It's
Weird without a studio audience. We normally have 15
It's a
people here for
podcast.
it.
You guys are like, well, all the podcasts have studio audiences.
Yeah.
They don't, guys. What's up? Thanks for having me. This is interesting. Have an easier place to get to. That's the first thing I'm going to say.
Okay.
Okay. Everybody who's going to come on this show, take a flight. All right.
You know, it's funny. We started it, I guess, even further in Denham. We were doing it out of an apartment I lived in Denham.
Holy shit.
So that was even worse for Baton Rouge
Yeah.
Comics. You're like,
Yeah.
45 minutes to do
You
your
guys got all
dumb podcast.
those great denim comics you could have.
Yeah.
You know all those.
Yeah.
Of course. Then we did a little bit in Omar's old apartment before he moved. He moved upstairs to California.
Upstairs, yeah.
Yes.
They made the big move upstairs.
Big move. Moving on up.
To the Shreveport of California. Pasadena.
Have you guys been to Sacramento? Actually, Sacramento's fun. I don't know why I'm shitting on Sacramento. It's probably the best California just city. Like if you're just looking for a place just to be,
Yeah.
Sacramento's actually great.
See, I was wondering, like, where is Sacramento? Because I know Bay Area is kind of middle. LA South.
No, Bay Area is all the way north. Like,
All the way.
Bay Area is like San Francisco, Oakland. Sacramento's like if like this is San Francisco, it's Sacramento, and then you have like San Jose and like all that, and then it's LA, and then it's San Diego, and then you have Mexico.
Have you been to that part of Mexico? It's lovely over there.
Yeah, I helped build the wall, so I helped put it up.
Was that hard? Was that fun for
I
you?
did my part.
That's beautiful.
You were just recording podcasts by the wall the whole time?
I had no time. No time.
No. Do you even
Yeah.
speak Spanish?
Nope, not a lick.
Not a lick?
Do I have to speak Spanish? This is the portion.
This is a
We do
portion-
have 15 minutes of Spanish to get through.
We just make fun of comics in Spanish, and they never know.
Yes.
No, I don't speak Spanish. Sorry.
So if, like, all right, so like not at all. Can you order in Spanish? Do you at least know? Can't do that?
Zero Spanish.
Because
I mean, what do you? If I see it on the menu, I'll be like the El Pollo Locos, like whatever.
Yeah.
But I'm not. I don't like it.
You're a Pollo Loco guy?
Oh, dude, they're big on the West Coast. There's one right next to where I live.
I
here.
love a good Pollo
Loco's
Loco.
great.
It's one of the best Mexican cuisine, I think.
Well, I wouldn't call it cuisine. It's definitely food, but it is good. It's the better of the fast food chain. It's better than Taco Bell.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, and that's saying a lot because some people will fucking kill me for this. I could say the N word and people will be like, "Do you hear what he said about Taco Bell?"
Yeah.
I was doing a visit at a school once for graduate school, and I met a girl, and her first introduction for me was like, "Hi, my name is Catherine, and I'm addicted to Taco Bell," and that was her introduction off the bat. Which
Dang.
I don't know if that's like, is Taco Bell like a big thing out west, or is that more of like
I think
a
everywhere.
Everywhere?
Everywhere people just
I
get
think
hammered
like there's
and eat
just a
Taco Bell.
handful. It's like the Dr. Pepper fest. You know those weird Dr. Pepper addicts who just like drink one every day?
I had a friend come from my head top because I told her Dr. Pepper tastes like medicine.
It does. It tastes like, it's got that weird,
Yeah.
I wouldn't say, but it tastes like cough medicine.
Mm-hmm.
It's got that weird flavor to it.
Yeah, no.
Maybe that's why I love cough medicine.
You a lean guy? You a cough? No.
I grew up in New Orleans, but no lean. No lean.
So you started comedy in New Orleans.
In New Orleans, yep.
Yeah, and I remember you talked about you started post Katrina.
Yeah. How old do you think I am? Yeah. I started, I mean, so this is a debate people love to have with me because some people who know me a while, They're like, you've been doing comedy 10 years. I'm like, that's simply just not true. I tried comedy for the first time, sure, 10 years ago.
Right.
Then I didn't do it for 2 years. Then I did it once a week, every other week for like 2 months. Then I didn't do it for 6 months. Then I did it again and then didn't do it for 2 years. So I started comedy 10 years ago. That's just, I don't count it because I probably in 6 years, I did comedy 10 times, which is just ridiculous because now I do comedy 12 times a week. So it's just for people that are like, you started comedy 10 years ago. I'm like, you don't get how this works. I started full go coming up on 4 years. In May, it'll be 4 years. So technically 3.5 because we missed 6 because of the old pandemic.
Yeah.
You guys remember that? But I just say 4 years. In May, it'll be 4 years. And now my career's going better than anyone could have ever imagined.
That's very true.
I thought you guys were going to laugh, and you're like, yeah, tell us about that.
Yeah.
No, I'm very fortunate.
You've hit a pinnacle of local success. Like
pinnacle. I mean,
not a pinnacle, but like
I feel like it's coming back and selling out the Orpheum.
Yeah, like a different level of like, not respect. What is it? Success. In Louisiana comedy.
I was talking to somebody about this the other day. As I feel very, in my short 3.5, 4 years I've been doing this, I've kind of gone on the road with some big name comics. I've done big shows in the city, out of the city. I've met a lot of I can kind of go to any city and get on shows. And now I've done a theater with the biggest name in comedy. So it's this thing where it's for more than anything for me, it's nice because I'm like, oh, cool. Those are out of the way. Anything I do now is gonna be like, cool. Yeah, let's just go do it. Right. Like, there's not going to be this thing where I'm like, I don't know how, it's 400 people. Or I'm like, I did a fucking theater in front of my parents had never seen me do comedy, and their first time seeing me was there. What? And like, I wasn't nervous for the show until my parents texted me, was like, we're coming. And I was like, great. I was like, shut up, bitch. Don't tell me that. Sorry. I called in sick. I was like, Charles, I can't do it. I'm sick. But yeah. And so now everything is, I shouldn't say easy, but there's nothing that's going to like daunt me. There might be like, I mean, sure, if something comes along, but right now the way I look at it is like, cool, now it's just all about the work again. Right. There's not that show to worry about that's like, fuck, it's that. Now I'm like, oh, cool, like that's how fun it is. Like that's how fun it could be. So now it's all about work again for me, which is nice. It's all about doing the little shows, doing the mic still just doing comedy because you know how good it could be. So it's nice that to get those out of the way, which is, that's the fortunate part I feel. There's comics that have been doing it 4 years that have kind of found more success. But for me, that's what I'm looking at. I'm happy. Those big shows are out of the way. I've kind of done all those things. So now I'm just like, great, let's just go work now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I'm sure in the same week you did a show in front of 15 people at the station, and then you opened for Schultz at the Orpheum.
That Friday I was booked on the show in New Orleans, and it was like, I think it was, a bar in the corner, and you're trying to tell your jokes, and you're like bombing, and you're like, then you kind of get them back, and there's 20 people there, 5 don't give a shit, 4 can't believe you just said what you said, and you're just like, oh fuck. And so it's the gauntlet. That's the other thing that like, and then the next day, because I was there Sunday, so Sunday I went and did a mic in front of 8 people, and the Bywater of New Orleans is basically, nobody. You could be the most woke person in the world, but they're still just crossing their arms. It's still a fun show. The people that run that show are great. I do love that show. But it's just one of those things where you go from just murdering in front of 1,500 people in a theater, and then the next day you're just like, at Hi-Ho. And I love Hi-Ho. I love the people who run it, but it's just it's one of those things where you go, oh yeah, this is it.
You still get 3 minutes.
Yeah. You get 3 minutes. You're going at the end. You're like, whatever.
I don't care who you are. You're still if you're in the back, you're getting that 3.
So that's what you kind of love about comedy. It's like that's why I'm like, okay, well, this is the work though. This is the shit you got to do.
Yeah.
So, like, I just recently did my first comedy club. I did Comedy House New Orleans.
When?
March 5th.
Comedy House New Orleans. Great club in New Orleans. Hit it up.
Yeah.
CHNO.
No, it was great.
I want to give them the shout out because they're another big reason why, like, they're giving stage time to people and they're a good club. They've had some shit in the past, but they've proved it wrong and they've been very good people and they've been very good to me. So, yeah, that's a great club. I'm glad you got to go to it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was awesome. Like, we did 2 shows, like, pretty big crowds. It was great. But, like, what I remember was just, like, Greenroom. So, what's the Greenroom like at the Orpheum?
It's this. It's not. The green rooms aren't these places, like, depending on where you're at, they're like gold hookers. Or
No, I get that.
I don't know.
How do you mean green room? Do you mean like the hang or just, like, how it looks?
How did you feel in the green room?
That's the funniest thing is they are some of the most, even before the show. And then Derek Poston, who's a really great comic, he lived in LA. He's from Memphis. He lived in LA, but lives in Austin now. He's Andrew Schultz's main opener. Did we talk about that? I opened for Andrew Schultz at the Orpheum Theater.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. And so, like, you get in there, but first I got there early because I was hosting, just doing 10 minutes up top. So already they're like, do 10 minutes. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Let's go. Especially if it's in New Orleans, I can do like 3, 4, 5 minutes up top of just New Orleans shit.
Yeah,
But you don't want to do that at those shows because you don't know what he's going to talk about. And you also don't. You want to make sure these people,
especially with him, because he would like not relies, but he does a lot of.
So that's why the green room is so great. But you also just don't want big shows like that. If this is a piece of advice I can give, like, and I knew this kind of going in. You don't ever do like, especially when you're. Because you want to be bigger than just New Orleans. Like, you want to be able to show these people that you have time that you can take anywhere. Mm-hmm. You don't want to be like, yeah, he was funny, he was cool, he was great, but he did 5 to 6 minutes just on New Orleans, and
he brought up like Chalmette and shit.
Yeah. So I did bring up Chalmette because they're an easy target. You got to get a laugh, guys. You got to start hot. So I think I did. I literally got right into it because he plays this video. I mean, you were at the show.
Yeah.
It was already so hot. Like, I had to do zero hosting. Zero hosting because that video does it. People are sat there quiet. Dov, who's his business manager, goes up and like makes a big deal. And you go out there to just a crowd that's just salivating. I mean, it Scholes' crowd too already. Yeah. Dove, I'm sorry. I keep calling him Dov. Dove is his name, Dove. And then Scholes is, they're his crowd. So, I went up there. I think I did one thing about like just small little thing about New Orleans. Just like it took like 15 seconds. And then I got right into my act and it just went great from there. And like better than you could have hoped. And that's the other thing is you're nervous. You build these things up in your head. You're standing on the side and you're like, oh, fuck, I'm about to do it right, my parents. But then you just got to go like, all right, chill. It's a show. You're here. You got chose to be here. Don't let these people down who, or want you here and asked you to do the show. Have fun, get better. And then they announce your name, you walk out, and it's like, it hits you, and you're like, holy shit. And then you start doing jokes, and you're like, this is easy. Like, it's way easier, dude. People, like, that's why clubs, the other thing, you start getting to clubs, you're like, this is easy.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, I have this same material last night was bombing.
Yeah.
And I go and do it, and I'm just crushing, dude.
Yeah.
Like, it really was very fun. Had a great time. Thank you for coming again. Thank you for...
It was me and Sam, and it, like, I got to tell you, like, well, something interesting that like Marcus Bond, because Marcus was there, that he brought up was like Andrew Schultz brings everybody. Like there was like red state looking people, blue state, purple state. Like,
especially to sell for him, the kind of comic. I say the kind of comic because he's the best comic. He's a great comic, but I just mean he's a comic. But for him to sell out 1,600 seats in New Orleans, that's not easy. Like New Orleans is still a it's still a very blue town, and it's not in, Texas. It's still very blue New Orleans. It's, the San Francisco of New Orleans. But, for him to bring out 1,600 people, you're right, like, all right, let's go. Let's do this.
But, yeah, they were ready to go. Mm-hmm. And it was, like, interesting because, like, it was supposed to start at, like 8. And
no,
then
7:30.
7:30?
Yeah. Oh. You bring me here and you get me.
But like, as like we were like holding house because like there's still like a bunch of people that still got to get in, like people were just ready to go, but not ready to leave, but like ready for the show to start.
That's why every show holds back. Like you never no comedy show starts. I mean, actually they do. All comedy shows start on time.
Yeah,
be there right when you're supposed to be in your seat, please. But this one started a little late because people were drinking. But as soon as that video plays, that's the other great thing about that video is like they play that video and it's for people. They don't want to miss a single part of it, so they want to be in their seats for the video. The video helps them know, like, we're getting started. It's not just dim lights, music dims. Say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome out. It's video, countdown, incredible, fucking awesome, fun, pump-up video, and then Dove comes out and, does his awesome, like, thing from the side, and introduces you, get them going. Yeah, it was great. How it should be. It's exactly how it should be.
A lot like theater. Theater is that hurry up and wait mode. Like, theater is the quotation that I like to say is welcome to theater, let's hold for 5.
Yeah.
Like we've held for 5, 10, 15.
Dude,
that's how it goes.
I remember at my show in New Orleans, I had drill that day. So like I finished at like 5. I had to go from Hammond to Covington to get ready. And then from Covington to New Orleans to be there for like a 7:00 show. I pull up in New Orleans. I finally get off the interstate at like 6:50. I end up parking a quarter mile away, and I ran to the comedy club.
Oh yeah, you get
I
there,
literally ran, like,
no,
I like parked on the street.
That's the best part. You get there and they're like, no, you're good. And you're like, fucking
I run there, and then I get there.
yeah.
I pound a Red Bull and a fucking Budweiser, and she's like, "All right, you ready?" I'm like, "I guess. All right, let's do this."
So you went right up.
We started probably 7:10. I was like, "Shit,
Dog.
Well, yeah. So that's that. What do we got on the docket? We're talking about some things.
Oh, it's funny that night started that way and then ended with you with your shirt off with J.D. Ely at a bar in New Orleans. How did that was actually how did the night devolve?
That was the night before. Yeah, no, that was not that night. It was a funny picture from that weekend. No, that was the night before, and we won't get into that. No, that was because so a bunch of friends had come in and were hanging for the show, and I was gonna like chill. I was gonna go have a few drinks, but then of course your friends come out. They're like, "We're hanging." And I'm like, "Yeah, okay," because I kept telling people, and this is what I'm saying, I'm sorry to you.
Oh no,
I kept telling people like, "No, we're gonna hang out. The show is gonna be great." In my mind, I knew the show was gonna get done, especially if I did well.
Yeah,
he was gonna be like, "No, I knew the Green Room party was gonna last, like, because he had family and friends in town. His wife was there. I knew that was going to be the thing, so I kind of felt bad, but I didn't want to tell people like, no, go fuck yourself. But I kind of knew, and if we were to got off, but then he told me,
that's just good business, by the way. You hang out with the bigger comic on that night, like.
Well, also, but it's like it's one of those things where like he's wanting to hang out with you. It wasn't like if he would, if I could, you could feel it. You could be like, oh, okay, we did a great show. He's got his friends. Thank you for having me. Introduce me, and then we can leave.
Yeah.
But no, we're in there, and then Derek's hanging, and Derek's such a great guy. And Derek's like, one of these dudes you just want to talk to, and he's a comic, so he gets it. You're just like going back and forth and hanging. And people like all those guys, even Vala Films, the guy that shoots for him, Dove, Andrew, all of them are the most supportive group. And we have our friends that are supportive, but I mean like. I've done shows. I've done bigger shows with bigger comics. I've gone on the road and met business managers and met, and you can kind of feel like they're just like, yeah, just another whatever. And you're like, oh, there's that fucking guy. But no, they were all like from the start when I got there, very open and very like honest, very good at like talking and asking me questions, which people don't realize goes a huge way because I'm not nervous, but this is new for me. So it's all like, oh, all right. And they, they know that. So and I wasn't exuding like, oh, I actually did a pretty good job of keeping it together, I think. But they did such a good job of making me feel like welcome, comfortable, anything like not just the guy that's there, but one of the guys,
right?
Which is good. And by the end of the night, you're like, you get all the hugs, you get all the pics, you get all the follows, and you're like, all right, cool. You're one of the guys, which is ultimately, which sounds stupid. Which in comedy, that's all you want to be.
Yeah,
you just want to be one of the guys. You want to be one of those guys.
Yeah,
somebody you want to talk to.
Yeah. You just want to be the good hang. You want to be one of those guys. You want to be a comic, and so that's nice. So yeah.
So when did you first come to like? I know you've done the station before, but like when did you become a Baton Rouge based comic?
So I'm just here working on. So I work in film right now. Hopefully this actually might be my last job because comedy's not going too bad. So hopefully this is probably my last good job. And I could have quit like a month ago, but and moved because I'm going to move to Austin.
Okay,
that's the plan. I'll treat Austin like grad school, and if I end up just staying because it's going well there, I'll stay. But if not, if it's time when you get there and you go, okay, now it's time to go, then I'll go. But Austin's the move, and so that was always a plan. I got this job that ends like right in end of July, and it's just saving me so much money.
That's the what's not the Indiana Jones, freaking the National Treasure?
We'll just pull. Yeah, no, let's cut that.
Let's cut that.
So that's like that thing, and so it's just a good job that I'm working with people I like. So again, that thing where I don't want to let people down. I made my word, and also it's just saving me so much money.
Yeah.
So it just helps where I go, wherever I move after this, even if comedy is slow. I still have all this money that I can fall back on, and like kind of so wherever I go, it'll be easy. So that's what I'm doing now. So, I'm not a Baton Rouge based comic.
No, I didn't
hate that word.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm kidding. I've been here.
You've been doing comedy in Baton Rouge for.
Sure. I mean, yeah. What is it? 4 months? 5 months? It's like December. Yeah. So December, end of November. Yeah. So 3 months, 4 months.
Yeah.
4 months, 4.5 months. And it's been good. Like I said, it's a bummer because there's not many shows. You guys got to work on that. Now there's 3 mics. But, it's just you guys got to – because there are funny comics here. And you got Lafayette and you got New Orleans. There's enough – you just start booking real shows. You can really start building a scene.
Yeah, we're having problem with real rooms, though. That's a thing that's been plaguing us a little bit. As far as getting like good quality showcases out, like most of the time when we're doing things, it's literally a lot of foot traffic that fuels shows, and that's just people coming in. Like
you can't be afraid to spend your own money though. That's you got to be like, like when I go out to these cities for comedy, like I'll be in Houston this weekend at Secret Group. Come on by. This is out by then. I'm buying my own hotel because the show, doing that time, being around those comics is more important than money right now. Mm-hmm. So that's why people have to realize like that's the investment. People think about like how some people invest in like crypto and some people are investing in Tesla. We have to invest. We can't invest in that shit. We have to invest in ourselves because we are crypto. Like we are our Tesla,
right?
Which people don't. We are our business. So invest, do the hotel, or invest and spend money on promotions for your show. Spend money on real flyers. Spend money on good equipment, and spend money or time finding the right room. And it'll just happen. Like I said, it'll just happen. But all of a sudden, you'll look up after just chipping away and doing all this. You'll look up and be like that's what Gasa was. I mean, I went to 4 different places, and they all said yes, but I didn't like any of them, so I said no. And then Gasa finally said yes, let's give it a shot. So I spent money on promotion. First week was okay. Then we were able to move it inside. Kept promoting it. Kept buying, like bought a better mic, bought a better light. And then within 3 weeks, we had 40 comics at that show, and it's packed every night.
Right.
And it got so good where I was making $200 from a fucking open mic. Like hosting open mic was making $200. So that's that's crazy.
Yeah.
I need people to realize how fucking insane that is.
We're doing it for drink tickets.
Yeah. Well, no. They still gave drink tickets. It's just when you're making all these businesses, they don't care what your idea is. If you start making them money, they don't give a shit.
Yeah. Right.
So I'm making $200. It's because the bar is making $1,000 in the 4 hours we're there, which is on a Monday is again crazy. Mm-hmm. So it's the thing. You just got to invest in yourself. Like you are your business. So don't think of it like put them like this shit. Like you did good. You're doing good so far. Because how much money do you make from this? Exactly. See, that's what I'm talking about. But then you get big ballers like me on here, start riding some views.
Yeah.
Clickbait. No, I'm kidding.
It'd be clickbait. You have to say, you know what, forget you guys, and you storm off.
No. It's all in the title. So that's the truth of that. Like some people are like, I'm afraid to start a show, yada yada. You just gotta you are the business. Right. So treat yourself like you're somebody you are responsible for, and it'll change your life.
Like you are your own child.
Yeah, see, I'm just going to mark this as Alex Cureau hates Andrew Schultz. That's the headline. Yeah. And I'm going to put hates in all caps and then an ellipses.
Okay.
And then it'll be Andrew, and then you'll have to figure out who it is.
This has been great, guys. Thank you so much.
Yes.
Well, that's the hackiest thing you can do. Okay, never mind. Keep going. I don't want to start ranting.
No, go for it.
No. Come on. Let's go to the next one.
Favorite joke that never works.
That's what? Oh man. Well, what's yours? Hey, come on,
I did one about how I think emus don't get enough respect in the Big Bird game.
Did you talk about the Great Emu War?
That came out after, but I learned that fact after writing this joke.
That's wild.
What's the joke?
It's
that's just a premise.
I think ostriches get way too much whenever emus are much faster and scarier animals.
Australia went to war against emus, man.
But emus, because emus are so tame. Like people just have emus.
Yeah, but I mean, look, they got like red eyes and like.
Yeah, but like people just have them as pets, so they might be bitches. You can just domesticate a bird.
They got ostrich pets though. Like they got ostrich pets, right?
Yeah, but ostriches will spit on you. Ostriches straight up be like, "Fuck you."
I thought those were llamas.
Ostriches don't spit. What's an emu?
I think you're thinking of an alpaca.
Oh, alpaca lunch. All right, alpaca bowl. I'll pack my things and go after those stupid jokes. No, wait. What's an emu?
It's the
bird.
Yeah. Do you have a
Yeah, I mean, I'll pull up a picture
So
of
do
it.
you know
I didn't
an
think I'd have to do this.
So it's just like a less hairy.
Emu. Oh, that's right. Is that the?
Yes.
That's a fucking ostrich, dude.
No, that's an emu, man.
They look the same as an ostrich.
Ostrich looks very much
like an emu.
A lot posher.
Wait, what?
Yeah, so that's an emu.
Emu. So emu looks. You know what's funny is an emu. So an emu looks like Kanye West's designer line.
Yeah.
And an ostrich looks like Kanye West. Looks like Julia Fox.
You think?
Do you know who Julia Fox is?
That's Kanye West's old lady now,
That's
huh?
his old bag. No. They don't date anymore.
Oh. So what's your take on the Skeet situation?
Skeet. Skeet Davidson.
Oh, his name is Pete Davidson. I mean, as a comic, you're like, this guy can go fucking, like, Kanye's, it's nuts what he's getting away with. Like, we have to, if we're going to really get into this, people are forgetting he is openly harassing and, like, threatened to murder a person. And we're just like, you go, Kanye, you're working out your creative differences. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But I mean, Pete also branded Kim on his chest.
Yeah. Now, like, he wasn't doing this shit 3 months ago. Like,
So you think they're just making each other more crazy?
I think Pete and Kim, like, look, Kanye's also dating other people. Like, it's not this thing. They have the right to date other people. Like, and I know this I went through some awful shit at the beginning of the pandemic. And it taught me a lot and made me a better person. I went ham and I acted like a real idiot when I got out of my relationship. But the thing is, like, you're watching this now and I'm like, I didn't do that shit. Like, right. So that's what the thing with Kanye is. You're like, at some point somebody has to go, hey man, like what you're doing is like Kim and Kanye are just trying to live a life. Like, it's not their fault they're trying to date and be and they're famous, so of course it's going to be on the fucking news every day. Like, that's got to suck. That's got to suck. Imagine if you got a relationship and every day you saw your girlfriend with fucking, Joel Embiid. Like, it'd be crazy. Like, and that's the other thing is he knows it's not just like, fucking, she's not fucking just, Colin Jost. She's speaking big swinging dick Pete Davidson. Every night she's getting bent over backwards and broken. Like, so it's this thing you have to think about.
Right.
It's so, like, of course it makes you go a little nuts, but at some point people have to like, okay, we got to stop buying this shit. Like, it's ridiculous how that's happening. Pete Davidson did nothing wrong, and he finally texted Kanye. I was like, you got to chill. And Kanye fucking sent his texts to the Instagram and like, to the Instagram, I'm 90. Yeah, put his text on Instagram like, look at Pete harassing me. And everybody's like, bitch, what? He's telling you to chill the fuck out, dude. Like, he finally texted you, he's like, you got to chill. Yeah. And everybody's like, and he's like, look at Pete harassing me. I'm like, what have you been? Yeah, and then the timing of the Gene Yes thing on Netflix didn't help. Like, I think they were like, no, release it now. So many people are going to watch it. But ultimately, the timing of that was awful because you watch this thing and you go, fuck, he really is so good. Like, Kanye, you watch Kanye, you go, like, I'm not taking away, like, it's like the Bill Cosby thing. Like, Bill Cosby, terrible, he was an awful person, but he's one of the greatest comics of all time. So, but you're still like, all right, I guess we just don't watch him anymore, whatever you want to do. But, like, it's a thing that changes the way you look at a person and how you feel about them moving forward. So, Kanye, one of the greatest rappers, if not the greatest, like, legitimate producer of all time. But he's gone full insane. He's got real things he's got to deal with. And I'm challenging Kanye West to a boxing match. I want Jake Paul to set it up. We're doing this. I want this to get on the airwaves. I'll do it for $10,000. I'll do it for nothing. But yeah, like, that's my take on that. The Pete Davidson and Kim are not in the wrong. Like, they're just trying to live their life and date each other. And they got this maniac following them around. And believe me, take it from experience. I was that maniac. The way he's handling Liz, absolutely ridiculous. And anybody that supports the way he's just like, no, he doesn't, like, they might be a little crazy too.
Still my Kanye season.
Still your Kanye season.
He's like, shut up.
I'm doubling down.
You have two options. You either double down or you apologize.
The Kardashians are insane, dude.
No,
they're just as
that's
crazy.
Not taken away from it. Even Pete Davidson.
They're following, like, they got Travis Barker, they got MGK, and now they're going for the trifecta with Pete Davidson. Something's weird.
The white trifecta?
Well, they're all like skinny tattooed men.
Yeah.
That is fair.
Big schlongs.
Still above 6 foot, though. Us short kings need to get it.
Short kings, we're doing fine. Like, you've been dating your girl for how many years? You're doing great. Look at this place.
Coming up on
Look at this. She's your sugar mama. Like, you're killing it.
Pulp Fiction poster in the back.
Well, yeah, but you're not white if you don't have one of those.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, you don't have a pole? What's this guy doing?
That's actually from my college dorm. So, yeah.
Oh, he's like, I've been white. All right, I've been doing this.
I've been white for a long time, buddy.
You can have all the ties you want until you get that Pulp Fiction.
That's been my favorite movie for 10 years, okay?
Yeah.
Dog. Oh, yeah.
For 10 years? What was before that? You're like, no, not
Incredibles, I guess.
The Incredibles.
Yeah. You're like, Raiders of the Lost Ark, move over.
Man, I mean, I don't like telling my like film and TV friends because like they always roast me for it. But like my favorite movie is Secret Life of Walter Mitty.
All right.
I enjoy it.
Gotta say, Emperor's New Groove is pretty good. That's probably my second favorite.
Best karaoke song. Isn't that Let's Get Down to Business?
That's Mulan, my guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's emo.
What's yours, man? What do you
Favorite movie?
Yeah.
This is a dumb question. I mean, there's so many. It's incredible that most of them are Tom Hanks movies. Saving Private Ryan's great.
Yeah.
What a good movie. Fucking hell. Of course, I'm blanking on the name. Dead Air. People hate this. What am I thinking of? It's the one where Brad Pitt, where he's dead, but he comes back as death.
Comes back as death.
People are screaming it right now. They're like, "You stupid fuck! It's this." He plays Brad Pitt. He gets hit by a bus, but he comes back as death in the body, and he woos the girl, and they fall in love. Anthony Hopkins in it. He's super rich. Do you know what I'm talking about?
My
right?
evil ex-boyfriend?
We'll move on. Don't worry about it. Well,
we'll
it'll
keep
come to me later.
Yeah.
Oh, it's gonna kill me.
You're gonna scream it at the end of that podcast, which is fine. It's no issue.
Yeah. Well, we're talking about jokes. We did your joke. What was yours that never works? I don't think enough people know what a fucking emu is. I think that's the problem with the joke. Legit.
One guy doesn't know what an emu is. Like, I don't think
I don't know.
anyone knows.
I think
I
a
don't know.
lot of people would be like emu. I don't know.
Let me think. Which one did I don't know. Like usually I just block
He's
out.
like all of them don't work.
I don't know. Like it depends on the day. I don't know. I usually block out the ones that just don't work.
Well, yeah, how often? See, that's the other thing. So
Yeah.
that's what sucks about Baton Rouge comedy right now, because there's so many funny comics, but you guys get 2, maybe 3 chances. Once if so, there's other shows now that they're here, so you get a few. But you used to get 1 chance a week to do comedy. It's impossible. It's impossible to do it. In New Orleans, it's impossible. Like even if you're hustling your hardest, some nights you'll be able to get up twice. Some nights there might be a night where you can get up 3 times. That'd be wild. Like even working your ass off, you're getting up once or maybe twice a night. And that's just also impossible. Because I've done jokes that I did for a week in New Orleans, and then I took them somewhere else, and they work. I've done jokes that work in New Orleans, I take them somewhere else, they don't work. So yeah, it's impossible to judge a show when a joke when you can only do it once to an open mic. So that's the biggest fucking bummer. The most thing I appreciate about doing these long sets, now that I'm kind of getting, I can do more long sets, is squeezing in new jokes that I have more time for to really get into them, where I've already got a rapport with the audience, so they kind of know me and know what I'm thinking. So I can get into that joke that when you go to an open mic, you're like, golf is, so mine's like, I have a joke about golf. It's like, I say golf is, and I think the joke's good, I just haven't had a chance to work on it enough. It's like, golf is never going to be PC. Like it stands for gentlemen only, ladies forbidden. That's just what it stands for. They're not changing it. But they give you, if you're not good in golf, they give you a handicap. Basically, they give you more points if you're bad. Yeah. What they're saying is this guy sucks so bad he's basically retarded. And it doesn't really like comics. Like, that's and it's like, do you ask a handicapped person if he needs a handicap? You're like, look, this is really going to help your situation. Well, you still have 0 legs, but you'll get more points. But you're going to walk out of here a winner. And so it's like that's a joke that I like, and it's I've got to do it twice. Yeah. But it doesn't work right now. But it gets like snickers, and some people, it gets laughs, and it's stuff like that. But that's a joke that I'm doing right now that just does not work. That I would love to work. Other than that, I think I have a few other ones, but I know the problem with them. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense.
So,
yeah, I had one a long time ago that I used to do was I'm on birth control. It's called being a soft 6. 7 out of 10 if you're drunk. So that was
called being a soft 6.
I did it once and like I got heckled.
It should go lower though.
Oh yeah?
Because soft 6 people think that's just your dick. You have a bad dick. If you're it's 5 if you're drunk. 5 out of 10 if you're drunk, which is go lower. Because if you go higher, people are like you get a bigger go lower. I think if you go lower.
Oh yeah.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense.
Yeah. Because you're like 6 and that's a soft 6. People are like, that poor guy. Yeah, that's like he can't get laid because he's got a terrible dick.
Oh
and then 5.5 if you're drunk. It goes if it goes lower. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Always make yourself the butt of the joke. You guys know this. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's a good joke though. I think you should try that one tonight and do it because you're upping the stakes by lowering the number.
I'll do it tonight.
Dude, we're like getting like double the shows that we normally have been getting to do. As far as showcases go, like think about
I think
3 or 4 months ago.
Are you about to leave?
No.
No, I'm talking about in general.
Yeah, I'm talking about in general. Like, think about whenever we first were doing this podcast during the pandemic, and maybe sneaking off to the station if it was allowed.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
It's been weird getting up most weekends.
Well, I think for me, it's kind of like.
Where have y'all been getting up?
I mean, I hit New Orleans, Lake Charles, and then
what show were you on the club?
So I opened for Seabass. He headlined it.
Oh, that's right. I did see that. Yeah. How was the room?
Great.
Good.
Yeah, it was fun shows.
Yeah. I mean, did Stone versus Drunk in New Orleans. What else have I done? I did Stone versus Drunk here. I did.
Those are always tough shows, though.
Stone versus Drunk?
Yeah, because you're like, I want to do the act. But if you're stoned. Yeah, next time he asked me to do it, I'm like, I want to be sober, for fuck's sake.
I did a beer garden. I think for me, I don't know, it feels like people know I'm leaving. So, like, that's why I'm
Wait, what do you guys keep talking about leaving? What's happening?
I'm moving.
Where are you going?
Irvine, Orange County.
Why?
Grad school, sound design.
Hey, it's not bad. Good town. Irvine Improv's a great club.
Yeah. So I think it's like people kind of like slowly are beginning to understand. Yeah, I'm gone.
Yeah.
So like I'm only like I'll come back.
So hit
to
it harder.
visit. Yeah, that's a fact.
Go out in a blaze of glory. In a blaze of glory.
Yes.
What about you?
As
So
a
you're leaving too?
I still got a guard contract to finish, so
Well,
I'm just
how
hanging
long?
out. 2 years.
Oh yeah, you'll be around.
So I mean, I'm gonna finish school, stuff like that. We're thinking short move to Austin.
Yeah,
She's gonna get her master's in
In
psychology.
Psychology. That's crazy.
Then we might move to a big city when she's a big psychologist.
Austin's not big enough. Jesus.
That is. Oh man, that's a big closer.
Well,
man.
she's
a
a-
big psychologist.
Oh yeah.
Also an actress, so she wants-
We'll get
she
that
needs-
puny little town.
She's an
Austin.
actress and a psychologist.
Yeah,
hey man, that's
she will be able to play
She's
like the
certified.
perfect
Nuts.
like Sopranos.
No, but
psychologist,
like
yeah.
in terms of like her being an actress, like that's a good market because like me and my friend have talked about me and my friend because like she does a lot of sports. She's torn her love her to death. She's torn her ACL twice, but she's also an actress. So like she's had a dream of becoming a physical therapist just for actors. And it's like her being becoming a psychologist, but also being an actress, she knows the business.
Yeah.
So it's like easier for her to like talk to an actress or talk to an actor about what's going on with them versus like a psychologist who's like can only come from their PhD.
See, I want her to like master manipulate her way into like major roles.
Oh yeah?
Maybe using like reverse psychology.
Tell
or
them they're
something.
not good enough?
Yeah, like
Okay.
every time she auditions, makes the director go home and cry. And then
Never seen it happen. I've seen directors make other people cry. I've never seen a director cry.
You gotta work on one of those. I've seen plenty of directors cry.
and then I'll do open mics for 10 years.
Oh word.
I mean,
Yeah.
you should never stop doing it.
No.
What you got? What else? What are we doing? I'm having fun with these. You guys are killing it. I'm having fun with these questions.
What do you bring different to the table as a white short guy?
And now I hate the questions.
What makes you different? You're just another white guy.
Yeah.
Beard.
Sure. I mean, but like,
But I mean, I mean that in like the most
no, I
legitimate
get what
way.
you're asking.
I know it
what
like
you're
doesn't
asking. As
sound
a short
that
white
deep.
guy, you're like, please help.
Like I mean that in like the most legitimate way possible. Like
what do you guys think?
because like
That's a guy. What do you guys think? I don't know. I feel like I'm just trying to be funny and like just trying to find my angle, and I'm starting to get there. That's a question for people that are watching me, not me.
Right.
It's like I get the question, I do, but I feel like what do I bring different? I'm like, I'm just trying to be funny. Right. So I'm just trying to be funny. I'm just trying to talk about what I want to talk about. I'm not really. It's not that I'm not worried about people's feelings. It's just like I've thought this is funny. Do you okay? That's fine. All right. Like something you think will funny will come up. Like people want to get mad at a lot of things, and it's just like we're just telling jokes. You can't laugh at the one. This has been hammered to the ground. We don't have to talk about this, but you can't laugh at all this other shit. And then when it's something that you don't like, be like, no, you're not funny. Fuck that guy. He's the worst. It's like all the other shit was fine. Like shut up. And now the thing you don't like, everybody else is laughing at. Like you don't get to dictate that. So. That's a question for y'all.
that's right. That's an impossible question to answer.
What?
No, it's not. Some people
It's
come up here and
close
be
to
like,
impossible, though.
No. Some believe me, there's some comics that will come up here and love that. Like eat that. We know a few that will be like, well, I'm glad you asked. Let me tell you what I bring to. And those comics you should avoid. Those are comics you don't want to. Comics that like
know exactly what they're doing.
Yeah, do know comics that are like ready for that question.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
like, oh, you fucking prick. There's a lot of comics that, if you ask them, what do you think you bring to the table? They'll be like, well, I'm glad you asked.
I'm a hard worker.
Yeah. Well, no, you should. That's not. I mean, like, anybody that's queued up to talk about themselves like that is. I mean, I say that as we're comics, we all kind of talk. That's all I've been doing the last 40 minutes. But in that, that's a tough. What do you guys think? That's the question I would ask. Like, what do you guys? You guys are the ones watching. What you guys obviously like me enough for me to come on this podcast. So like, what? Like, don't answer it. I'm just saying that's a question.
Hypothetically.
Yeah. No, or you can answer it. Go ahead. You're gonna know.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, that's much more of a question like for the audience.
Yeah, it's a weird angle to attack too as a comic because you can go like the self-aware route, you can go like blazing like on the question, just like completely just like try and make a whole joke out of it. Like there's way too many different ways to go about it too. It's a bad question.
There's something like I
love how you. I've been loving these questions. Like, cool. Here comes the worst one.
That's why it's on the bottom.
I saw. I did see one that I wanted to talk to you guys about because this was a funny story. Do we have time for a story?
Yeah.
Go for it, man.
How'd you start? Goals, writing process. Oh, the goals are everybody's goals.
Yeah.
Move to South Africa.
I love the green room. So that's funny. I was more worried. It was more important to me, and maybe you guys will get this because you've done like shows with some guys.
Yeah.
It's more important to me to kill in the green room. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I was more worried about killing in the green room, and at the end, them being like, okay, we can call that guy again. Because look, if I would have went up there and bombed or not done well, like they'd be like, but if you kill in the green room, like, oh, this guy's funny. It's just maybe he's too nervous. He's never done fucking theater, whatever. Or if you go out there and just do fine, but if you kill in the green room, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The fact that you crush and you kill in the green room, they're like, all right, cool. Like Derek is now a friend, somebody I can consider a friend. He's already, so he's kind of convinced me. I was still in New York or Austin, and then I had a conversation with even Scholes and all those guys, and I'm like, I like my alone time. I like being able to get in the car and drive to the gig, have that alone time, and then drive back, have that alone time. I like being able to have a one-bedroom or a studio apartment by myself, not having to have 2 or 3 roommates. In New York, you never get that alone time.
Yeah.
In Austin, I'm like, I love that alone time. In Austin, you can still hit even mics. If you did mics and scrammed it in, I mean, even just being booked on shows, you can still do 3 or 4 a night. But even mics, you can do 3 or 4 a night, which is huge. And Austin's cheaper. It's actually easier to get around than New York is. So it's just, it's New York.
Are you at all like worried about like the bloating that's happening in not bloating, but if there were bloating happening in comedy there, would you be worried about that?
No, because I go a lot, and there's so many fucking funny comics in Austin. I don't even want to start naming. I mean, there's just a couple. Dean Stanfield, Spencer Cavins. I mean, Zach Silverman's a guy. I mean, Hans Kim's a guy. He was one of the first ones to really blow up. Riley Gilmore's another guy. I hate that I'm gonna forget everybody's fucking name. Sorry, but there's so many funny comics there that are already so funny that I'm good friends with that run all these shows. So it's not a thing where I would feel myself scratching and clawing. I'd go out there and do the work, but I'd also have the friends to be like, put myself in the position that I need to be in. But also, anybody that's moving there is kind of new to comedy. I've done 4 years. I've got these things behind me, and I've got people I know, so it's going to make that easier. The bloating is a good thing, though. Like, people think a good scene is like good shows. A good scene is as many funny fucking people as you can squeeze into it. Mm-hmm. Like, if this place only had one show, but all 20 comics that come regularly were just murderers, do you think it'd still have one show?
Right.
Like, people always, this New Orleans is a thing. People want to worry about how good the show is, what show we're doing, where are we putting a show. And it's just like, hey, who are you going to put on?
Yeah.
Hey, you can't put the same 4 people, or you can, sure, but like, don't.
Right.
Yeah, so no, the bloating, bloat it up. I don't care. Like, the more funny comics that are around, the better.
Yeah, I mean, that's kind of like the thing. Like, as far as showcases go, especially Baton Rouge comics, like, it is a small depth chart of people who can do 10 minutes.
Adam Lucky's another good one.
Like, right. So that's the problem. That's why, like, I wanted more open mics here, so that we get more people ready to do showcases and stuff like that.
New Orleans people just want to put up showcases. I'm like, no one can practice, guys.
Yeah. And it's like, as much as everybody loves to see Mike Honoré and Will Merrill, it's like, if they're on every showcase, like, it fucks shit up.
Oh, and Howard Hall's in Austin now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Crushing it.
I didn't know if that got released yet. I would have brought that up. But.
Oh, yeah. He's been there for a few months. Yeah, him and Omar have already done shows at Creek.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah. That'd be a weird thing.
Omar won't let you forget.
Oh, boy. boy. Yeah, dude. There's so many. I am encouraging all my friends. That's the hardest part about moving is because I've got real good friends that I can like fuck around with in LA. Like, and I mean like do shit like this, and it just would be great because we know each other so well. I can call them on the phone and just crack up for hours, which is what you want. And so that was a tough decision. But Austin, I've got those friends. Especially now, it's even growing. I got a buddy in Houston named Mason who's he's only been doing like 2 years, but he's so fucking funny. But yeah, so there's just like all these things where, and also Houston and San Antonio and Dallas. Houston's 2.5 hours away from Austin. San Antonio's an hour. They have 2 legitimate rooms in Funny Comics. Dallas is 3 hours away.
That's cool because you can set up a mini tour.
In Houston, I've got a bunch of friends. So
like,
New Orleans is I can come back for a weekend whenever I want. So yeah, it's just Houston. Austin makes the most sense, and it's Texas, baby. Let's go Texas.
You excited about Texas?
I like Texas. Look, I know Texas has got its fucked up shit, but I'm from Louisiana, so we weren't exactly we're not exactly running the race of the best.
You just hopped up like 30 points on
Yeah. But Texas, I like Texas. I like the wide open spaces. I don't like 20 minutes away from the city is just zip in, do shit and you're in the country, which I fucking love. Like I love it. Yeah. So I like Texas. I do.
It is weird when you like you've been to other states that are better than our states just
In terms of like food?
not in terms of food, just in terms of
Living?
livability, comfort of living.
I've been to I guess. I think my only issue is I've been to cities in those states where they're very hustly, bustly, very loud.
You're not a hustle bustle kind of guy?
I am a hustle bustle when it comes to work. I'm not a hustle bustle when it comes to like I want to go home and like be.
Right.
I think I don't know. Like I've been to Ithaca, New York. Ithaca, New York is kind of like Baton Rouge, but with more trees. It's very much like Baton Rouge, but like it's the greenery lives in cohabitation with the city.
Yeah.
The East Coast is beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah, very much so. Like
That's-
same way with Pittsfield, Massachusetts. Wonderful.
Pittsfield.
Yeah. It's like have you ever been
Tri-racial, but
to?
you're
Have you ever been
gonna
to?
raise kids in Pittsfield.
You ever been to Ruston?
Yeah.
Pittsfield is just Ruston.
Yeah, I can tell. His name is Pittsfield.
I've talked a lot of shit about Ruston. I do understand the allure, though. It is nice just to like be out in the middle of kind of nowhere,
Oh, yeah?
but you still have Walmart. You know,
Walmart. That's man. White people love Walmart. We really do. We do. We love Walmart.
You know,
We really do.
they don't even have like Trader Joe's, Whole Foods. No, it's a Walmart town.
Yeah, dude. Give me all the MSG and Ag.
No, but I've been to Irvine on a visit. It's a beautiful town.
Irvine, you're gonna look. It's
Beautiful.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful.
It's great, man.
Fucking dude, that place is nuts. Irvine is fucking nuts. So,
yeah.
I'm gonna come visit you.
Hey,
Come say hey. I mean, I'm gonna be in LA, and then I'm not gonna drive 2 hours to Irvine. So never mind. I'm never gonna see you again. It's been good, man.
it's
been
good.
great.
It's been, hey,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
been,
thanks for having me.
I'll be around.
Yeah, dude, you might as well actually just kill yourself.
No, I got work in the morning. I can't do that.
Yeah. I mean, she doesn't want you to be there. Do these pick up the dog at all? It's just been yelling the N-word the whole time. It's crazy, dude.
I get so embarrassed when she barks at black people. It's my least favorite thing she does.
That's what he has to tell you.
Hey, I don't know much. Maybe dogs.
She's got a black uncle. It's all good.
Yeah.
That's fair. I've had a dog.
Pitbull? Oh man, we're joking.
But thank you for being on the show.
Oh wow, yeah. This was pleasantly surprised. I know you because we don't know each other that well, so you're always wondering.
Yeah.
This is a lot of fun. You guys are prepared and ready to go too, so props to you guys. This is really cool.
Sure.
I've done 2 of these before, so I know what I'm doing.
Well, coming up next, we got Real America with Wes Ross, hosted by yours truly. Catch it on the Patreon.
This is Real America. Look what we did.
Yeah, man.
No, for real. Thanks for having me, Wes, Jeremiah. This is fun.
Yeah.
Open the mic. What a good name for a show, too.
Do you have any way people can follow you on social media?
They do. Just my name, @AlexCureau. I think Twitter might be @AlexCureau, but that's mostly sports stuff. So if you like sports, I really want to build that to just a fucking sport funny. I think Twitter, because Twitter's so dumb. People that just
Yeah.
sit there and I make fun of people on Twitter about like how they just sit there and they would try to think of a joke to write. And I'm like, well, it's just joke writing. So actually I can't give them that much shit because it's ultimately that's just what you're doing with jokes. At least Twitter, you're putting it somewhere for people to see immediately. But I don't want to spend my time thinking of jokes on Twitter. So I'm just so much more fun and interesting when it comes to talking about sports on Twitter. So that's just what I'm going to do for it. So Twitter, if you want to follow sports news and just talking shit
we should
about,
have talked about sports this entire podcast.
oh, dude, we can. Well, that's another one. We can do another one.
Hey, that's episode 2.
But yeah, so Alex Cureau, AlexCureau. Please spell it right on the promo.
Yeah.
You spelled it like Corisio.
You know, the first time you did culture. I don't know if you.
I remember you got it terribly wrong.
Yeah, I called you Alex Caruso, which is Selena
So,
Gomez's character
way
on
sexier.
Wizards of Waverly Place.
See, that's what I told you. Alex Caruso. So wait, how old was she? Alex Caruso. I was like, oh, whatever. That's
12
always
to 18, in case.
That's all. It's all. Yeah, then that age range.
Season 7.
This is a great way to end this. Don't just Just cut this part. No, but yeah, man. Thanks for having me. Twitter, it's Alex Cureau. Instagram, Alex Cureau. Easy peasy.
Sweet. Yeah. Thank you all for listening. This has been Open the Mic. I've been one of your hosts, Jeremiah Turner, a.k.a. Big Joker. I've also been here with the illustrious Wes Ross, also known as College Dropout.
We'll go with college student. I'm not on the Kanye train anymore.
College student?
Yeah.
All right. College student, also known as...
BRCC counts, everybody.
That's true.
Also known as, which is my personal favorite, Shenandoah Shaman.
The Shenandoah Shaman. We'll go back to that.
We'll go back to it? Okay. And then we've also been here with Alex Cureau. Alex Caruso, if it's your first time meeting him.
Whatever, guys.
But yeah, we will see y'all next
buy
week.
tickets. I don't care.
We'll see y'all next week. Until then, stay safe. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.